Alright guys, here is my setup of the new DJI Pocket 3 Creator Combo. And it has the mic and all that stuff, but that's how I have it set up. You can see how it's done down here with a flexible tripod with a, what do they call that? With a lanyard hooked into one of the D-rings in case something goes terribly wrong. Never had that problem, but you never know. Now, I would recommend that you get the Refresh Care program, even if it's just for 1 year. You got to get used to the camera. And I know I've had the Pocket 2 and the original Pocket, so I am very well versed in these cameras. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera on, do the welcome, and we'll get this thing going. Well, hello and welcome to Paddling and Peddling Florida Adventures and On the Patio with Mr. D. Hey, today I'm really excited. I've been trying to get this thing or justify this camera for a long time because it's $700 for the camera itself, and that's a lot of money, guys. And what I found out not the other day, but over the past season on kayaking, is that my Pocket 2 wouldn't lock on me anymore, and it would kind of just go crazy like this. And I did find out what it would be cost to do a diagnostic and all that kind of stuff, and it was almost half the price of this one. And this has got the new, all the giz willies and stuff like that. So the Pocket 2 still works, and I'll use it for some of the things that the Pocket 3 no longer does. And that's where you used to be able to plug it into your phone and all that kind of crazy stuff and do all that magic editing stuff. Now, I don't know if it's still there. I'm gonna look at that when I get done today. But today, we are out on the water, finally, because Hurricane Milton really tore us up. And this water is way, way, way up, but at least I can get on it today. A lot of our creeks and narrow rivers are non-accessible right now because of Hurricane Milton's damage, and it really tore it up. So today, anyway, we're going to do some test footage on this. I'm also using the DJI Mic 2 or 2 mic, or what do they call that fancy thing, where it's able to store 8 gigabytes of memory on itself and then upload it that way. Also heard that the Mic 2 will work with some of the other cameras out there if they have Bluetooth link, and my understanding is that the Ace Pro will work. I haven't tested that yet, but I'll probably find out probably later today or tomorrow. Now, what's on the agenda today is just a kayak, a coffee paddle. I haven't been out on the water in a long, long time. And we got gators over there. Huh. And plus, I wanted to test this camera out and see how it does. So, hey, we'll be back in a bit. Well, I just found out, guys, as I was on the Mimo app watching the recording and operating the camera from the Mimo app. And I found out that on the monitor, it shows it backwards, mirrored, flipped this way. So I got to figure out what the setting is for that to make sure it's the same. So I went back to the standard Pocket 3 flip out screen and checked that, and now it's recording properly. So I don't know what that's all about. I did find face tracking. I didn't find it earlier last night, but I did find it this morning, and it's working really cool. Let me turn this around. Yep, now it's tracking me. I didn't get it done right. I actually had to do it on the application. You know, the old draw a box over your head thing. And now it's tracking perfectly, and the face tracking is doing its thing. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, guys, hey, we're going to continue. I saw a couple of eagles the other day, so that means my eagles from across the way, unless Milton destroyed their nest, I hope not. We're going to check that when we get to the other side of the lake. Hopefully it's still there. I know that the one we had out at Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive was totally destroyed. That nest has been built there for 4 years and it was gone. And right now you can't even get on Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive due to the damage and flooding and all that kind of stuff, because even the drive-in roads are inaccessible. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I hope you're enjoying this video. I know I'm enjoying the heck out of bringing it to you. And we're doing another Learn Together video. And I kind of like that label instead of a review, because a review kind of makes me have to have all the knowledge required to review the product 100%. And that's no fun. I'd rather learn it as you guys watch it. And that's what we're doing. I'm learning, making mistakes, and that's okay. But anyway, hey, we're gonna get back to it. The sun finally peeked up over the ridge here. So we're gonna continue our paddle and we'll be back in a little while. All right, I got some of the EV adjustments done. I still see I have a mic gain problem. I'm seeing it pop in the red, so I just have to talk a little quieter until I get that gain fixed. And I have to watch that YouTube video again to learn how to do that, because they showed me how to do it and I can't remember how to do it. So anyway, I also found out why that was mirror imaging on the Mimo app. All right, there's two little arrows. Let me turn this around here. There's two little arrows that point like that with a line between it. Now, you want the one on the right to get the correct imagery. It was set at left. Apparently it was a default, and that's mirroring. And I didn't want the mirror image. I want to see exactly what I'm seeing on the camera and not having it mirrored. And it doesn't record that way, I don't think. But anyway, we're doing our thing, learning some more as we go along. And maybe a little bit later, I'm gonna try to figure out that mic gain issue. Or I'm just gonna wait until I get back today and watch that YouTube video again. The guy was really good. And he went into the technical things of the camera itself. And a lot of times I don't do that. I wanna strictly do a learning together deal on how to use the camera in the field. And I let all them professional guys do the, technical stuff. But I do watch their videos, and that's because I want to have a basic knowledge before I go out and play with the camera myself like we're doing today. So anyway, hey, we'll be back in a bit. I did find out that to do the selfie portion or turn the camera around, I couldn't figure out how to do it because they have a built-in joystick on the Pocket 3. And I wondered, I said, well, what if I just press on that 3 times and see? And that's what it took, 3 times. And that's probably due to self-center too. Let's see. Gimbal recentered. Okay. Double punch on the gimbal button, or the joystick button, will recenter your camera. And I hope that this picture is as clear as it's showing it. I mean, my goodness, this thing is crazy good. So anyway, guys, we'll go and get back with you later once we get a little bit further on the lake, get some more paddling in, drink me some coffee. So hey, we'll be back in a bit. Now, the other camera I'm messing with today, guys, I wanted to be able to show my setup right here, but I brought my Insta360 Go 3S. I brought it out today and put it on a hat clip. It's a lot easier than trying to do a full out action camera mount, even though this one has a built-in mount on the nose. This kayak, and the kayak I'm using today is the Airvolution Sport by Advanced Elements. Excellent, excellent product. And I'm just skimming along here like it's nothing. Wow, it's beautiful out here this morning. So anyway, hey, we're going to get some more shots and then start testing the heck out of this Pocket 3. So we'll be back in a bit. Well, I'm checking, guys. This is where the eagle nests have been for the last few years. Hurricane Irma took their nest down, and they rebuilt it almost in the exact same spot. But I saw one of the eagles the other day when I was out riding my bike, and I know where they reside, and I want to check and see if their nest was destroyed. And we're coming up on their nest right now. It's off this point that you see. You won't be able to see it because it's too far away. And I think I see an eagle on a branch. And I'll bring out my big camera here. Yep, I do. So that's good news. I'm coming up on their nest. I got to go in on this dip area here. Yep, there's an eagle up there. So I'm going to get some shots of that. I'll post it. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff going on up there. I see the adult mother in their nest. Wow, I got to get to where I can get a good clean shot. And there's the other parent. So both eagles are in the nest, guys, and I'm gonna get some shots of this, so I'll be back in a bit. I've seen that the floodwaters have receded about a foot down. There's still a lot of flooding going on. I saw that with the docks. Now this dock here is normally, the one we're coming up on now is normally like 3 feet above the water line, and you can see it's part of the water line now. We'll be up there in just a minute, but I wanted to see how bad that was. Because when I used to fly drones out here, I used to launch from that dock. And then I learned that drones aren't the way to go when you're into water sports. Not a very smart move. Mine lost its GPS location, and it started to land about 100, maybe 100 yards from shore. It would have landed right on the water, would have destroyed it. That's the fastest I've ever paddled in my life, and it was just beginning to hit, I mean, probably about 3 feet above the water line and coming down to land, and it was going to land in the water, and I caught it with my hands, just barely. And then right after that, I sold it. I said, no, this is stupid. You got too much money invested in this thing. Now you can see they had some pretty good damage here. It buckled in the center, but that's normally 3 feet out of the water. And this is one of the floating docks, it looks like. No, it's permanent. But you can see, I think somebody put in some phony goose up here, because they would have already took off. I can't see their heads move, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so, because one of them's, they got it permanently anchored, and only his neck is coming out. You can see that right here, guys. It's funny as heck. Yep. Now this place really got flooded here. It went way up. This is funny right here, look at this. Oop, wrong way. You see those geese? One neck about 6 inches above the water. I'm gonna go in here a little ways. I wanna see, because they've got this whole section is shut down. And the water's so high, I know I can get there, well, at least to the gate, because they got the gates closed. But I'm real curious to see now where I'm paddling right now used to be dry land. And it took the lake water went way up here, up forward, as you can see. I mean, it normally stops right at that gate, just after the gate, so they can get their boats launched and stuff like that. And here, we've got lake water going past the gate. I don't know if I can get through that or not. That might be interesting to try to do. It's pretty, I don't know if it's deep or not. Let's see. I'm gonna try it. Now, this is normally dry ground where I'm at right now. I don't think it'll take, no, it's shadow here. Yep. Wow. Hi guys, hey, we're gonna wrap up this edition of the DJI Pocket 3 Learn Together video out here on the water. Now, this is the reason I bought this camera. This is the main camera I used, which was the Pocket original, then the Pocket 2. And the Pocket 2 started to malfunction on me last season. I tried it again this season, and it started doing that weird stuff. It just wouldn't stay locked on me in the follow mode. It just wouldn't do it, and it would just kind of go off on its own. It was weird. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap this part up, and next test will be out on the bike. Unfortunately, I can't get out the Lake Apopka. So anyway, guys, hey, we're going to wrap up this part of the Learn Together video out here at Old Lake Davenport in the Airvolution Sport Advanced Elements kayak. That's what I'm using today. And anyway, I wanted to kind of do an assessment on the flooding and how much it's receded. It's receded quite a bit, but not a lot yet. Some of these docks are normally 3 feet above the water line, and 3 and 4 feet. And now the one we're coming up on now is normally about 3 feet, and it's right at the base of the wood line. So we still got a lot of work to do. The area I was just in, which you saw, right at that white gate is normally the dry, well, it's already in a dry spot for the boats to do their launching. And you can see we actually paddled inside that because the lake went way up in there. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this part of the video. Next part will probably be on the e-bike, not sure yet. And unfortunately, I can't get out the Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive or Circle B bar due to hurricane damage, and they said it's indefinite, so they don't know when they're going to get it fixed. And so we'll figure out something. Anyway, hey, we'll see you on the next part. There it goes. I had the dang thing in photo mode. That's why it wasn't working. I was taking pictures of myself. But anyway, guys, hey, hello and welcome to day 2 of the Learn Together video of the DJI Pocket 3 camera. I learned a lot last night. I learned something very valuable just now, guys. Make sure your mode you're in video when you want to shoot video, because I got set up, did my full intro, all the stuff you're hearing right now, and ended up, I was in photo mode. So I said, that thing should be blinking. And it wasn't blinking, and every time I hit the shutter button, it would go green and then shut off black. And I said, wait a minute, I think I'm in photo mode. And yep, I was. So anyway, we are down here at Lake Louisa State Park, and we wanted to do the e-bike test of the DJI Pocket 3. And I'm really curious to see if it gets a jello effect. That's what a lot of the, now first of all, the iPhone 16 Pro gets jello when I'm riding on the e-bike. It goes jello when I'm in video. I had one other camera that went jello while I was in video, and it really aggravated the heck out of me. I'm hoping that's not the case here. Now on my helmet, I've got the Insta360 Go 3S. Now it doesn't need to be in the camera case. I could make the profile a lot smaller, but I decided not to. But I got all the setup and stuff done on the Pocket 3. I learned a lot last night. Got to share something with you that's going to aggravate you because it's already aggravated me. If you're in selfie mode, it will automatically mirror your image. So there's a setting in settings that you can go in and shut the selfie mode thing off, and that's supposed to correct the mirror imaging issue. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Now what it's supposed to do is if you turn the selfie thing off, and it will still show the image of it backwards in the selfie mode, they say. But when you upload the product, it flips it back. Now, that didn't happen with me yesterday. Right now, the reason I'm putting my hand up, I wanted to see if it's mirrored, and it is. So I'm gonna do a test when I get home. I shut that selfie mode thing off, and it's supposed to correct that problem. But right now, I am not pleased with that issue with the camera. You're paying, you know, $700 for the combo, and I have the Pocket 2, which was $499 combo at the time, and I never had a problem like that, never. Now on this camera, you do. That's inexcusable. So I got to find out more about that. I'm going to definitely get hold of DJI and see what the heck is going on. They're going to do a fix it as a firmware update or whatever, because right now I am aggravated as heck, and it's almost to the point of where I will return it just for that reason, because I don't want to, in post-production, I don't want to have to, every time I'm in selfie mode, to go in and do a horizontal flip on all post-production work. And that makes it, and I did find out one thing, if I'm in forward mode, not in selfie mode, and then I 3-click it while I'm recording it, it comes around, it mirror images me. And so you have to cut that clip, flip it to get it right. And that's not cool. So anyway, that's what I found out yesterday. And today it's supposed to be a fix. By shutting the selfie mode thing, don't enable it, unenable, and it's supposed to, it's still, like right now, it's showing my hand over on this side. And so they said it would film in a mirror image, but not in the final product when you upload it. So I don't know. So that's why I'm doing this little short test right here. So anyway, let's get back on the road and see what's going on. Morning. I'm gonna do a side-by-side, what's going on now, of the Insta360 Go 3S and the Pocket 3. I'm gonna check the water level down here. Oh yeah, that's way up. That water's never that far up. If you look down there, that water's never that far up the finger. The launch is down there beyond that big tree. So it's up, not crazy, but it's up. This is where they got the event all set up, guys. I don't know what it is, ride for something.
Split speed, 4
But they got a pretty good event. They got the tables all set up. I guess they're going to do a full-blown thingy here. That's smart. The guy's got a wheel work set up in case anybody gets flats or anything like that. Smart. Anyway, we're doing a comparison shot right now of the Pocket 3 and the Insta360 Go 3S. And I wanted to carry this one today. I could have brought the Ace Pro. That'd have been, but that shoots 8K. These two both shoot 4K, so it'd be a better test for them. I did some real nice tight turns in there to see how the horizon stayed into the bank turns I made. Well, good morning, guys. Hey, we are going to do some wrap up and conclusions of what I found so far. This is not made for an e-bike, period, without question, and that's because it doesn't have image stabilization because it doesn't need it. It's a 3-axis gimbal. However, as you bounce like this, you've seen in the video that you get a jello effect. So it is not made for an e-bike. It is definitely made for kayaking and anything that doesn't have any sharp shots to it, causing it a shock. So I did find that out. Today we're going to look at active track and how that works. I'm going to show you how to turn it all on and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to walk around my favorite place to have my morning coffee, is out here at the City of Celebration. And this is their farmer market day, so we'll be able to get some pretty good shots, I think. So that's what we're going to play with. The only camera I brought with me is my cell phone and the DJI Pocket 3. So without further ado, let's get this going. Setting up active track is really not that difficult to do. Go up here, swipe down, see this guy with the little box around him, activate that. Now what that'll do is it'll automatically start the active track process when you're in selfie mode. So that's how you turn it on. Now you can see the green box around me, and that's how that's done. Well, guys, I'm in active track right now, and things are looking really cool how it works. But what I want to say is what this is not used for. This is not an action camera. Don't even think about it as an action camera. It's not. The 3-axis gimbal on top is too fragile for any kind of extreme sport or anything like that. However, the image quality and the 1-inch sensor is what puts it over the top. The only reason I would keep this right now is for my kayaking season, because my Pocket 2 is starting to cause problems. Okay, just checking the active track. Anyway, I wanted to see how that is going to work, and on the kayak it worked extremely well. And the image quality is off the charts. But I'm just trying to justify in my own head, is this worth the $700 payment? So I still haven't checked out the DJI Mic 2 against my Ace Pro. It's supposed to hook up to it. I didn't do it. I was going to do it yesterday, but didn't. So anyway, we're going to walk around here in Celebration, finish up the coffee, and just to kind of enjoy the morning and then see what kind of shots we can get. So hey, we'll be back in a bit. All right, I'm going to try the active track now, guys, and to see how well it keeps tracking. Now, I'm going to take off the wide angle lens first. There, we're back to normal. Don't need the wide angle lens for this shot. And let's see how well this thing performs. Wow, it's doing really well. Now you have a restriction. I don't know if it still got me. Wow. Yep, still got me. Now that's pretty impressive. And I should run to the end of this. All right, I am shooting at 4K at 60 frames a second, guys. And I'm walking down this trail. But I put the wide angle lens back on. This is the first time I've used that. Didn't use it yesterday or the day before. So I wanted to try it out today to see if I notice anything different. Doesn't look like that big a difference, but don't know. I see active track locked in and it's doing its thing. Now what I did today, because putting this on a stick or anything like that just doesn't make any sense. So all you need to do is I screwed on the tripod, which is really cool. I gotta kind of break off this tirade I'm on. The case they provide you with, you're able to put in every part of that product, the Creator Combo, inside that little case. So you don't have this bulky case to carry around. Really awesome. So anyway, we're going to continue our trek and we'll be back in a bit. Now, I just turned this thing on, and you know, recently you heard me complain about the mirror imaging and all that kind of thing. And what I've noticed is when I turned it on now, I put in the new firmware and turned the selfie thing in the settings and I shut it off. And what I actually watch it do, when I turn this thing on, I watch the thing flip. So I know it's got the mirror imaging issue has been taken care of. And I'll tell you what, if they wouldn't have took care of that, this camera was going back, because I'm not going to do all that image flipping stuff in post-production. Not on a camera that costs this much. I could understand it on some kind of cheapy thing, but not on this. So I'm glad they got that addressed and taken care of. I'm in active track right now, I think. No, I'm not. No, I am. Now, if you don't have the active track turned on in the settings thing, all you have to do is touch the screen twice and it'll start the active track process. Now, I'm in wide angle lens and I'm going to go ahead and walk around a little bit and see how kind of well it does. This is test number 2. It still has me. Now they're saying that if you get too small, it'll drop you. Now I don't know if it'll drop you and pick you back up. I really don't know. So what we're doing now is testing that theory to see if it picks me back up. And it has. Wow, this is really cool. You know what would be great for this camera, guys? Voice control. That would be really phenomenal. If they did voice control in this camera, you could do your commands, like I could tell it to stop recording over here, and it would do that. And I think start recording or gesture control, that would be awesome. I'm gonna check real quick, make sure they don't have that. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, what I'm doing is another test of the face tracking system, and I think it's got me still pretty good. Let me see. Now I'll do a standard walk by. A little slow. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's not that slow. Now, does it keep me? Nope, lost me. Subject lost. Okay. All right, it says it's there. What I'm going to do is turn it this time. So what I'm doing now, guys, is I've got it back in active track, but I took the wide angle lens off. I want to make sure, and it lost me altogether. What the heck? There we go. For some reason, I lost active track. All right, so it's not flawless. It does have its problems, but nothing serious. So I'm gonna do a walk by. No, I don't think it did. Well, here we go, guys. We are walking down by one of my favorite diners. And I'm hoping that the bar ain't full, because it is really crowded this morning. Farmers market's going on. You can see here. And we'll check out the farmers market before we call it a day out here. Wrap it up out here at Celebration, guys. It's been fun. I even brought my a gift from my sister. She's a freak for feta cheese, so I'm going to take that and take it home as fresh feta, so it should be really cool. So anyway, hey, we're going to get out of here and we will finish this review later on. Well, hello and good morning. Hey, we are out here at Waterfront Park in Claremont, Florida, and what we're doing today is I'm trying to use a chest mount on the e-bike to see if that's even plausible. Morning. Morning. So I'm testing that out to see if it'll work or not work, because I'm really not sure what it's going to do. Did they change stuff up here? So I'm just kind of riding around here, and there's the trail right there. Somehow I got off the trail. I don't know how I did, but I did. So let me get back on the trail, guys. Well, I talked about earlier in the video when I had this mounted on the e-bike, hard direct on the handlebar mount. It gave jello effect so bad that the footing is not usable. So I said today, before I wrap this video up, I want to go ahead and try the chest mount to see how it works. Now, it doesn't give you the versatility you have with being able to pan around and not have things in front of the lens, but I can go ahead and use the joystick and probably raise above that, and I want to try that in just a minute. Now, I'm going over some pretty good bumps right here, and I'm hoping that I'm not getting any jello effect. Let me raise this up there. All right, I've raised it up, and it seems to be actually pretty good. So we're just gonna kind of ride and check things out. Now apparently the trail is closed down here because of Hurricane Milton damage. So somewhere down here it closes off. and then I'm gonna have to turn around and ride the upper side of the trail. Morning, guys. Morning. Ah, here it is. This is where they close the trail right here, guys. And that's because of water levels, is what I was told. So I'm gonna turn around here and head back the other direction. The trail on the other side is pretty big, but I want you to see the water levels here. And it's pretty crazy. So anyway, hey, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back in a bit. I don't have the handheld on today because of the height. And the chest mount looks a little weird, but it looks like it's working. Now again, I won't be able to know for sure until I get into post-production. But right now it looks like it's doing really well. No problems at all. So anyway, we're gonna continue on. Well, guys, another thing I did for this particular shoot for today was to change the EV in the Pro settings to minus 0.03. I think it's 03 or minus 3. Nah, it's 0.03. And the reason was a lot of my clips were coming in washed out. Now, I'm looking at the photos right now, or not photos, but looking at the monitor right now, and it's not killing me, but it's still not 100% right. So I'm gonna stop up here at the rest area. They got a rest area for bicyclists, and I'm gonna check that thing out. So hey, we'll be back in a minute. To change that out, guys, you swipe to the right and you'll see the word Pro. Make sure Pro is highlighted. Then you'll see a thing that says M or Auto. Just
Time, 13 minutes, 47
hit on the Auto button and you'll see an EV setting that you can slide up and down. Now I have this set at 0.3 and that was recommended to me. Now I'm curious to see how well it works, because I know that a lot of my photos and imagery was washed out, and I didn't like that at all. So anyway, we'll be checking that on this particular event today also. And also we're going to wrap up the review on the Pocket 3. And we'll talk about my conclusions, what I found, stuff like that a little later on. So, but for now, I'm just going to go out and enjoy the ride. And we'll talk with you guys later. Little low light test here. Hi guys, hey, we are going to wrap it up out here at Paddling and Pedaling Florida Adventures and on the patio with Mr. D on the Learning Together video on the DJI Pocket 3 camera. Now, it has good, it has bad, and it has ugly. And let's take care of the good first. Cinematic shots, video footage, crystal clarity of the shots being it's a 1-inch sensor. On the kayak, it was absolutely phenomenal. No problems whatsoever. Now, the ugly. We'll get to the bad later, but the bad turned into being good. The bad was, this is not an action camera, and if you mount this on a hard mount handlebar on your e-bike or bike, it will jello effect like crazy, which you saw in some of the previous footage. What happens is when it being it's a 3-axis gimbal, it can go like this and like this, like this and like this, but if you take a shot, it just causes that thing to jello out. There's no way of fixing that. That's just the way it is. So what I did, and trying today, which you will have seen, is I mounted a chest mount here, using my body as a shock mount. And it took all the shock out of it. I've looked at some of the footage, it's outstanding. So it really worked well. Also, I worked on the EV setting. Now, unfortunately, the default setting for this thing, your skies and everything else is going to wash you out. It is best recommended to go into the Pro, swipe across, hit Pro, then hit the auto button. If you're shooting auto, you'll see an EV selection right there. Scroll down to 0.3, and I've seen some of the footage already shot this morning, and that was one of my big complaints, is it just kept washing me out, and in post-production I had to add LUTs and all kinds of crazy stuff to make it look good, and I didn't want to do that. I'll put a note down here at the bottom on the EV results from the default from 0.0 to -0.3. And I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the footage and stuff like that, and it really looks good. I think it's going to be outstanding. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Man, I know it was a long one, but there's a lot. There's a lot in this camera, and there's a lot I didn't cover in this camera, because a lot of the options I won't use. This primary reason for buying this camera was for my kayaking season. Now, I was entertaining the idea of returning this because it just didn't suit my needs. Well, I'm still up in the air on that, guys. Right now, I think for my kayaking camera, this will be phenomenal. But I also recommend that you get that insurance thing, because it's around water. And if you're going to mount it on your kayak and it gets wet, it's going to die on you. So anyway, get that program, what is it, relief program or some kind of thing. You can go up on DJI and see what it is. I ordered it for 1 year just to test it out. It's $39 or something for the year, but it gives you 2 replacements. So if you drop the camera or do something like that, and this gimbal is very, very sensitive to damage. So at least, and I think the replacement cost is $35 to you. You know what it costs to buy the camera. Holy camole. The microphone from DJI, the DJI Mic 2, is a phenomenal microphone. And again, I forgot to test to see if it would link in, so I will put a note there, because I have the that camera with me today, and I'm going to try before I get back on the road to see if I can link this skin together, because I'm done with this particular camera here, and I'm just going to finish up my ride. I got about another 5-6 miles to go. So hey, we'll see you on the next one.